Hello, and welcome to this pre-recorded feedback event for BTEC Business Unit 9, Principles of Marketing, from the June 2015 exam series. To help you get the most out of this feedback, you may want to have the following documents handy, as we will refer to them during the session. The examiner's report in particular will provide you with further worked examples to virtually every question in the June 2015 Unit 9 paper. This document can be used as a further training guide in conjunction with this pre-recorded event. Here are the aims and objectives of this training session. You will receive feedback on national performance of candidates in Unit 9 Principles of Marketing in June 2015. Consider the variation of candidates' performance on different questions and possible reasons why. Discuss the examiner's report. Find out about further support available. Address common issues and FAQs. Question 1 is worth 1 mark. A significant number of students were able to access this question. Awardable answers are business to consumer market, business to customer market, B2C market, service, services market, services market, consumer goods market, consumer goods market. Although some responses showed little understanding of the marketing concepts, most learners achieved this mark. Question 2 is worth 1 mark. This question also proved accessible to a wide range of students who correctly identified a B2B market. Awardable answers are niche, B2B, business to business, capital or capital goods market. Most learners achieved this mark. Question 3 is worth 1 mark. This question did not perform as expected. Students were asked to identify one social influence, such as poverty or change in demography, that could influence the marketing mix. Many provided incorrect answers, such as economic influences or competition, and a number of weaker students simply failed to provide a valid response at all. Awardable answers are life expectancy, demography, poverty, unemployment, lifestyle trends, buying habits, spending habits, population, trends. Question 4A is worth 2 marks. Performance on this question was good, with many students able to give 2 forms of above-the-line promotion. Most students were able to state 1 correct method. Incorrect responses included sponsorship and sales promotions. This candidate scores 2 marks, as they get 1 mark for TV advertisement and 1 mark for Google per click. Awardable answers are television adverts, radio adverts, newspaper or magazine adverts, posters, leaflets, billboards, cinema adverts, social media. Question 4B is worth 2 marks. Students were asked to outline what was meant by price taking. This is one of the strategies identified in the specification by name. This question clearly differentiated between weaker and better students, with many outlining penetration pricing or skimming, or by saying the business takes similar rather than the same price. Students scoring 1 or above did so for saying the business looks at competitor prices. For the second mark, they needed to say these prices are then matched. Awardable answers are: the business bases its prices on its competitors. 1. Prices are set at the same level as other similar or identical products. 1. Match the price, 1, of its competitors, 1. Look at other businesses, 1. Copying other prices, 2. There were not many good responses to this question. Question 4C is worth 4 marks. This question proved challenging for a number of students who simply restated the question and said it would enable people to buy goods 24/7. Others responded that the website would enable them to close the store and so lower costs. This was not the purpose of the question and received no marks. Some students gave 2 benefits of using a website, but failed to develop their responses and explain the benefits, so scoring only half marks. Better prepared students were able to correctly develop 2 benefits, such as the website would enable the business to achieve a wider presence in the market, national and global, or that the website could hold a larger stock range, or that the website could be used as a cheaper form of promotion. Question 4D is worth 8 marks. This question was generally well answered by a wide range of students. Many students appeared to have a good knowledge of how the location of a business can impact on footfall, reputation, and sales. Many were able to apply the theory to the business in the stimulus, and commented on the success of the present location strategy. Some responses stated a series of benefits of locating in the city centre, or gave a one-sided response that lacked balance. Such responses typically gained 3 or 4 marks. This is an example of a better response, which considered both the benefits and drawbacks of choosing a city centre location for new stores. Question 5 is worth 1 mark. This question was not answered well. Students needed to recognise the business was market-orientated. Many failed to do this, and the most common error was to say they followed a market research orientation. More able students still had problems with the question, and centres should consider checking students' understanding of different types of orientation. It should be noted that all that is required to gain the mark is to state the correct orientation. Awardable answers are market, marketing, market-oriented, marketing-oriented, market orientation, marketing orientation. Question 6A is worth 2 marks. This social media question proved accessible to a wide range of students. Many students were able to correctly state 2 benefits of social media for this type of business. Awardable answers are: can see how many people have been viewing tracks, global reach, chance to interact with customers, can be set up free of charge, instant feedback on new posts, can share music with friends, leading to an increase in reach. Question 6b is worth 2 marks. This was another question where many students could gain most of the marks, but they needed to ensure they suggested other ways, and not simply restate "look for trends in the music press" or on social media sites. 2 typical responses are given here. Responses that are out of context are acceptable. There were a lot of good responses, but most only achieved 1 mark. Awardable answers are: Robert could visit record shops to observe what is being bought. 1. To get a sense of what is popular. 1. Amy could speak to other musicians at concerts. 1. To find out what others are producing. 1. Do a survey. 1. Local newspapers or magazines. 1. Music charts. 1. To find gaps in the market. BPI statistics. 1. Focus group. 1. To get qualitative feedback. 1. Question 7a is worth 1 mark. SWOT and PESSL are the 2 situational analysis models listed in the specification. But very few students seem to have been taught these terms. Consequently, many students failed to score on this question. A wide range of incorrect responses was seen, including product life cycle or responses linked to carrying out primary research. Question 7b is worth 1 mark. This question proved straightforward, and many students were able to state an example of qualitative data. Awardable answers are CD sales, statistics from BPI, sales or promotional T-shirts, number of content views on social media, for example, Facebook likes, video views, concert attendance or ticket sales, number of comments by fans. Music downloads have a low profit margin. Question 7c is worth 2 marks. Students needed to outline one disadvantage of using qualitative data. Some mistakenly outlined quantitative data, and others picked up only 1 mark for a simple statement, such as it could be biased or out of date. A number of students gave 2 points rather than develop 1, and so could only be allowed 1 mark. To gain both marks in this question, the students needed to give a disadvantage and say why it was a disadvantage. Awardable answers are: the data from published sources, such as music magazines, might be out of date. 1. And so might not include details of emerging threats or opportunities. 1. The data may contain opinions as well as facts. 1. Which might be biased in favor of a particular point of view. 1. Time-consuming. 1. Might not be accurate. 1. Does not know if it is true. 1. Question 8a is worth 2 marks. This question proved a little challenging for some weaker students, who simply restated the question, saying it made the product unique. A number of responses did, however, demonstrate some understanding of the term, and both marks could be achieved either by using the example in the stimulus to show the T-shirts were unique, or by saying how the USP helps the business. Examples of both answers are shown here. Awardable answers are: a unique selling point is something that a business does which no other company does. 1. which gives the business a competitive advantage. 1. Question 8b is worth 2 marks. In this question, students were given one benefit to the business of having a brand image. They were then required to outline one other benefit. Many simply repeated the benefit given in the stimulus material, recognizable, or gave synonyms of this, that is, noticeable awareness. The question therefore provided differentiation between students. Awardable answers are: a brand image can be extended onto other products. 1. Such as merchandise, which the band can sell at concerts. 1. A brand image can develop a personality. 1. Which fans feel that they are able to relate to, making them more loyal. 1. Different. 1. Stand out. 1. Add value. 1. Unique. 1. Therefore can charge more. 1. Question 8c is worth 4 marks. This was a question that many students did not answer well. Students were given one way the brand image could be built, that is, through the development of a logo. Some students repeated this in their own answer, whilst others tended to fail to make and develop 2 separate and different points. Many students stated either 1 or 2 points without any development, or developed only one of the points. For future series, students should be aware that when a question asks for 2 other things to be explained, they should make 2 different points, both of which are developed, and that they have not used the example already given in the stimulus or question. This example shows a response where no marks are awarded for saying how the logo could help. But then there is a good response about celebrity endorsement that gains the 2 marks for the second point. Question 9a is worth 2 marks. A number of students were able to achieve at least 1 mark on this question by identifying one distribution channel currently used by the band, online website called TuneFire. Common incorrect answers were to distribute songs through CDs and to send these through the post. The other channel used by the band was to sell direct to the customer, or B2C. Answers that simply stated direct or indirect channels also received no marks. Question 9b is worth 4 marks. Many students struggled to gain more than half marks in this question. Although a number of responses demonstrate some understanding of the impact of a declining market, too few responses showed any clear understanding of the implications of this. That is, that other forms of revenue streams need to be developed, downloads, and that the business may not have this expertise. 2 good examples are shown, both of which identify the need to find other products to sell. Two good examples are shown, both of which identify the need to find other products to sell. Question 9c is worth 8 marks. This question worked as expected, with many weaker students collecting 2 or 3 marks for listing features of secondary research, and more able students getting into mark band 2 or higher by taking the points made and developing these. Few students achieved more than 6 marks because the response was unbalanced, with more emphasis placed on the positives of this form of research and less on the negatives. Sometimes a conclusion was omitted. This sample response is an example of this type of answer. This response could have gained more marks had there been a more balanced argument and a clear conclusion. This response shows the type of response gaining just a few marks by listing some points or repeating the same point in different ways. This was the 4th sitting of this paper. Many more students appear to be prepared for this paper, although there are still a significant number who struggle both with examination technique and the basic unit content. The use of the contextual information provided in the paper continues to improve, with the best responses making clear links between this data and relevant theory. There are, however, still a large number of students who respond to questions by simply copying words or phrases from the stimulus material provided, without linking this to the question or marketing theory. While this approach can be appropriate for questions that use the operative verb identify, it is not appropriate for questions asking students to explain, describe, discuss, analyze, or evaluate. Where students did well, they consistently used technical vocabulary correctly and made appropriate links between theory and the contextual data included in the paper. The best students demonstrated their wider knowledge of marketing activity across the whole of the paper. A number of students did not provide a second point for some 4-mark questions, despite the explicit instruction to explain 2 points. Others failed to read the question correctly. For example, question 4C gave one benefit of a business having a website and asked students to give 2 more. Some simply restated the benefit identified in the question, and so scored no marks. In preparation for future series, students should focus on developing their ability to use the stimulus data without directly copying elements of it. There is also a need for students to focus on reading all of the questions carefully. The introductory stem contains relevant information as well as the actual question. Students should remember that they need to present a balanced argument when asked to discuss, evaluate, or assess a point. It is essential that they consider more than one side of an argument. Otherwise, they will limit their ability to achieve a higher mark. Analytical models in the specification should be considered, both in terms of their application to examples and their relative advantages and disadvantages. Each of the questions on the paper has been commented on in the lead examiner's report. This is another resource for you to help you understand the requirements of each question and to see what sort of responses were given by learners and how they were awarded marks. Some of the information from it has been used in this presentation, and if you are able to spend some time reading it, I am sure it will help you gain further understanding. The report can be given to learners so they can see for themselves what is required for the different types of questions and how they can be awarded marks. For further guidance and support with the delivery and assessment of BTEC, see our full training offer here. www.btec.co.uk/training, including free face-to-face Getting Ready to Teach events for all next-generation sectors, free online Getting Ready to Teach events for all next-generation sectors. This next slide provides hyperlinks to exam results statistics, which may be of use to you in compiling your annual departmental report. The grade boundaries hyperlink also provides more details as to what raw mark is required to reach a certain number of UMS marks. This may enable you to frame your students' performance in greater detail. Thank you for listening to this pre-recorded training presentation. We would welcome any feedback via the online feedback form, as we are keen to improve our support to centres which provide their students with the opportunity to study Pearson qualifications.